We kick off the story and all hell is already breaking loose, where a bunch of mages are trying to hold off an attack from gigantic dragons in the kingdom of Riddle. Count Kerbek's crew was already kinda used to this mess, since dragons were a common problem there, and because of that, the Count's family history was one of intense brawls against these creatures. While they try to land a fatal blow on the beast by hitting the thug on the forehead, Murphy's Law prevails, showing that anything that's bad can always find a way to get worse. Because at this moment, the ground starts to shake and incredibly heavy footsteps are heard in the distance. And when the owner of the footsteps shows up, my friends, you could see in the mage's eyes that the life just drained out of them. The tension was so thick you couldn't even get a Wi-Fi signal. And when we're shown who the owner of the footsteps is, we get why. After all, a gigantic dragon appears, over 500 meters long. This baddie is known as the Black Dragon, and he's only appeared twice in Riddle's history, wrecking the cities he attacked. So you can imagine the luck of these people here. A true reverse lottery. The scene then changes and we go to the royal castle, where an assistant comes up to the Count's daughter, whose name is Isabel, and warns her that she needs to seek refuge, because it's dangerous as hell there. However, Isabella shoots back point blank, saying that's unacceptable, since her father and the knights are throwing down with the dragons. And as his daughter, it would be unforgivable to abandon the people now, so she'll stay, even if it costs her her life. The scene cuts to a girl named Monica, and her room, my friends, is a complete dump. Books everywhere, a total mess. It looks like a hurricane exploded in there. Her assistant arrives with a bunch of food and starts spilling the news, saying that 3 months ago, the border was attacked by dragons, and their leader was the legendary black dragon named Worgen. Besides that, it seems a member of the 7 sages, who are considered the 7 greatest mages in the kingdom, was the one who took the big guy down. And she's the newest member, known as the Silent Witch. And I can't even imagine who this witch could be, judging by Monica's behavior, but let's move on. After the chat, Monica gives the girl some cash, who thanks her but says it's too much money, which even raises some suspicion that she might be dealing with something illicit and all that. At this, the girl asks what she does for a living, what her job is, to which Monica stutters and says, "I'm a calculation specialist." The girl then asks if that's like a doctor of calculations, and Monica says it's something like that. Then, the girl says that other calculation doctors came to visit the village, because they said they wanted to see her, claiming they were her co-workers and such. And well, Monica starts shaking like a leaf hearing this, and upon hearing a male voice at the door, Monica feels her soul practically leave her body. Gathering what little strength she has inside, she slowly turns around and sees a young man with another lady, and all she can do at this moment is slam the door in the guy's face. The guy's name is apparently Lewis, but our little witch, holder of 0 social interaction stats, just stammers out a low while trying to keep the door shut. The young man forcing the door open tells her to stop giving him funny nicknames and calling him Lololo. At this, the little witch just gives way, and Lewis simply thanks the young lady who helped find Monica's house. The girl, in her purest elegance and innocence, says it was nothing and leaves. And well, either way, the damage was already done. Now alone, Lewis calls her Madam Monica Everett, also calling her the Silent Witch, one of the members of the 7 sages. Then she uses her skills to tidy up the entire room in the blink of an eye, while it's narrated that people can't use magic without reciting incantations. However, every rule has an exception, and the exception to this rule is precisely Monica, who came with factory default maxed out magic, but practically 0 social interaction. And her weakness, so to speak, was her strength. After all, it's not that she doesn't need to recite incantations. The truth is that her incantations are silent because she simply can't speak near other people. We then see a flashback of her at the Magic Institute, completely frozen, trembling, barely able to speak and even fainting in the worst cases. And being almost determined to give up, that's when the girl has a stroke of genius, a 500 IQ moment. If she can't speak in front of others, then why not use magic without saying anything? And wouldn't you know it, it worked. She put out the test candle without a word, and so, her talent grew and she moved up in life. After all this little lecture, we return to reality, and the visitor tells her, "I see you're still wasting your talent, fellow sage." and then asks Rin, who is a superior wind spirit, to cast a barrier so no one can hear their conversation. And then Louis gets straight to the point. He needs a favor. He was working as a personal guard for the second prince, under secret orders from His Majesty the King. Monica questions, "But aren't you affiliated with the first prince's faction?" He replies yes, but he was tasked with guarding the second prince for some reason. What matters is that he had to protect the prince without his knowledge. The prince, Felix, is studying at a boarding school, Serendia Academy. To infiltrate it, Louis prepared a magic brooch for Monica that tracks and protects, and so he could monitor the guy 24/7. Monica questions if he's not just stalking him, but he says it's normal to follow the person you're assigned to protect. She gets nervous, asking if the prince won't be angry if he finds out. But Louis, proposing $1 million solution, just says that getting around it is easy. In other words, the prince just has to not find out. And dudes, this visionary is a genius. Even Monica was perplexed by the sheer wisdom of the being in front of her, as you can see. Louis continues and explains that the brooch he gave the prince was passed to him as if it were a gift from the king himself to his son, but it seems it broke a day after he accepted it, which left Louis, to say the least, completely pissed. Monica then tries to change the course of the conversation and asks about the second prince, and Louis said he went to see him, but he just said that nothing had happened and the brooch broke by accident. And after all that, he looks at Monica and questions if she understood what he's trying to say. And Monica, obviously, replies that she didn't understand a damn thing. After all, she has zero social perception, and let's be real, Louis was a real jerk here. He explains directly that he wants her to infiltrate the academy and protect the prince in his place. And the result is that poor Monica goes into despair, crying, saying she can't do it. But Louis couldn't care less about her feelings and just says that since she never appears at royal events, no one knows her face, so she's perfect for the secret mission. And besides, her talent for using magic without incantations is ideal for discreet protection. She argues that she only joined the Seven Sages as a reserve, but Louis doesn't care. After all, the king gave him the responsibility, which means she has no choice but to agree. And by her own free will and excessive pressure, Monica accepts. And Louis relaxes, just like the cat who couldn't tank lunch and went for a nap, and starts telling her the details of the plan. And as you can see, Monica is absorbing the content by osmosis, because she doesn't seem to understand a word he's saying. He tells the story of an orphan girl who was adopted by Countess Kerbeck and was given a lot of love, which makes Monica happy, as it seems like a happy story. However, and yet, unfortunately the Countess passed away. And because of that, the little girl became a maid for the Count's cruel daughter and was forced to go to the academy as her servant, which Monica understands was cruel as hell. And while Monica is crying her eyes out, that's when the plot twist comes, because Louis drops the bomb, saying that she will be this poor girl. And Monica is in shock, speechless. Time passes, night falls, and Monica is still there, paralyzed. Her cat, Nero, tries to cheer her up, showing her his little paw pads that she loves so much, but she's totally broken inside and just says she can't protect the prince. And Nero says if she's so against it, she should run away. But the girl says that's impossible, because Louis would go to the ends of the earth if needed to find her, and that wouldn't be good at all. Nero then changes his approach and starts trying to make the girl see the bright side of things, mentioning that maybe the prince is cool and all, and that maybe this will be good for her, and asks if she's never seen the prince at ceremonies. Monica hesitates and says she's never even seen the king, because she always closes her eyes out of shyness. And Nero just says that not even knowing the face of someone you're going to protect is dangerous, to say the least. The scene changes and we then have a delusion from our protag, where a musical about little pigs starts playing, where it's basically a math problem she needs to get right. And all of this is just a way for our antisocial little witch to calm down, because she's currently flying with Louis, completely desperate about the terrifying future that lies before her eyes. They arrive at Louis's house, who tries to greet his wife, but she goes to Monica, and noticing the girl is completely worn out, so pale and malnourished, she decides to give her something to eat. The scene changes and after a rest, we have another plot twist, as we see Monica being teased precisely by Isabella, the Count's daughter, who reveals she's actually acting like a villainess, saying she's been rehearsing this tone every single day. After that, she elegantly greets Monica, saying her name is Isabel Norton and that it's the first time she's seen her, calling her the Great Silent Witch, mentioning that she is deeply grateful on behalf of her father and her people for defeating that dragon. Louis then asks when she is going to greet Isabella, and Monica does it, or at least tries, because she's shy as hell. To which Isabel says she doesn't mind. After all, she knows very well how her dear sister Monica is a strong and brave person. At this moment, we return to the time of the battle, where Isabel thanks Agatha for working for her family for all these years and is therefore removing her from her position, but Agatha refuses, saying she will serve her forever and ever. Then a kid comes up and mentions to his Aunt Agatha that the witch from the capital wrecked the Black Dragon's ride, and because of her, there were no fatalities. However, at that exact moment, a reign of dragons appears. After all, since they lost their leader, they'll at least cause as much chaos as possible in the city. But nope, because our little witch isn't just strong, she's strong as hell, and as a result, she wipes out these bastards too. It's revealed to be Monica, the user of silent magic. This is her great advantage. Humans can't control mana without incantations, but this genius made the impossible possible. And so, Monica simply eliminates all the dragons that were attacking the city. And this moment is beautiful, as it's narrated once again how our incredible protagonist developed silent incantation, while she summons a kind of gate in the sky that simply makes magic rain down and finish off all the winged dragons there. Damn, this protagonist is insanely cool, something that I, Isabella, and even you, unless you're dead inside, could recognize. Isabel mentions she heard she'll be entering Serendia Academy, and so that no one suspects her older sister, she will be a real devil on earth with how much she'll provoke and be mean to her. And this is even a bit controversial, but whatever, even our man Nero knows it's going to be crazy. And with that, the episode ends, and what an incredible episode this was. I love this premiere and I sincerely hope you enjoyed it too. Did you like it and want the continuation? Then leave a comment here that you want the continuation, smash that like and hype button to support the video, and subscribe and hit the bell, because that way you won't miss any updates.